All right, welcome back to another video of Read With Me. I'm yours truly, Isabel Bedell, and I'm here to read with you Chapter 8, Part 2 of this amazing book, Big Money Energy by Ryan Serhant. I'm not going to waste any time because this is a damn good book, okay? We're in Part 2. And in the Part 1, go check it out. Really great story about some $7 million deals. No big deal. So head on over, check it out. Let's get into it. He first starts out part 2 with saying risk assessment. Should you go there? Okay. He has 2 different parts to this, and I'm going to read them to you. Okay. The anxiety I felt during the filming process was next level, and I vowed I would never do something that crazy ever again. But when no one was harmed in the making of the video and I made the sale, the risk seemed well worth it. And I think the seller would actually be very reluctantly, which would actually agree. Pushing the envelope is required if you want to make millions, but it can be hard to know if you're about to go too far. Now, when I have a crazy idea, when I don't have a crazy idea, I run the following questions before moving forward. Okay. This is pushing the envelope to make millions. Okay. Here is the first one. What is the worst case scenario? And be serious about this. Really think about it. I knew I could get fired for making the video, but I wasn't doing anything illegal. Getting fired from the job would just have been bad, but it wouldn't have derailed my entire career. Look at the situation from all angles. Could you lose lots of your clients, your reputation, all of your money? Be honest about the worst thing that could happen before you move forward and be ready to accept those consequences. Next, what is the plan and can you execute it? I didn't just randomly decide, oh, a music video would be cool, and then spend tons of my time, which could have been used selling other things, to produce a damn music video. I had a band already lined up. I had access to a director, and he was able to get the equipment required to pull this off. You have to stretch to make money, but don't be unreasonable about what you can actually accomplish. Like that. You have to stretch to make money. Here's another one. Is there another option? If I could have thought of a better way to show the apartment, and we had the ability to pull it off, whether it was drones, robots, especially trained dogs. Dogs aren't people. He never said anything about dogs. I would have happily abandoned the ridiculous plan of the video. Before moving forward with a wild idea, make sure there isn't something else you can do that is simpler and less risky. Pulling off wild stunts, not that I know anything about that, isn't easy. And sometimes it involves laying out money. Do you have any idea how much it costs to rent a DeLorean? Should you decide to throw an 80s party to sell an outdated apartment? Well, it's a lot. Don't do crazy for the sake of doing crazy. Remember that the end goal of taking this risk should be able to increase your income. Also, can you anticipate obstacles in advance? There were a lot of obstacles when it came to making that music video. A neighbor could have tattled on us. My client would have walked in and find me on his bed that I was using it to shoot a scene. Unlikely because I knew he was out of town. A guitar could scratch one of his perfect walls. My list went on and on and on. However, I was confident that these were obstacles I could handle. The band came in the dark of night, no instruments were actually played. They pretended, so no noise. And I set ground rules for everyone about how careful we had to be. Taking a risk is smarter and more likely to result in success. And your wallet getting fatter. If you take the time to run through the what ifs now, know what can go wrong. And plan and plan and plan. Well, the saga of the music video ended happily. I was also prepared to deal with the outcome if it didn't. Doing doesn't always end the way you want it to. I decided to take the risk, and that means I was ultimately responsible for whatever happened, which could have meant losing a client, losing a deal, or even being banned from the entire building. Bringing a band into the apartment was a huge risk, but it was worth it to me if it meant creating the tool I needed to get my job done. Do or don't do. And if it went the other way, if Robert fired me and I lost out on a huge commission, that would have sucked. But I wouldn't have pointed fingers at anyone but myself. I wouldn't have been angry with Robert about firing me or making my job hard. I accepted it under his terms, and I could have walked away. I wouldn't have played the if only game. If only I had snuck abandon. In the end, making millions isn't about being perfect. It's about never making mistakes. Let me repeat that because I didn't say it correctly. It's not about never making mistakes. Making millions isn't about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about making the absolute best of what you got. It's about doing. And the next time a moldy lemon is tossed my way, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll stay positive, think creatively, and do what I think is right. If I end up with a perfect glass of lemonade, then awesome. If I don't, well, that's on me. But I won't stop trying to make something amazing. Absolutely. I love that. Big money energy. Here's mantra number 2. This is a big one. Earning millions of dollars starts with a simple but powerful belief that there's no limit to how much money you can actually make. There's not. Sometimes the biggest obstacles between you and a massive paycheck are the negative thoughts that have set up camp in your brain. Kick those thoughts out forever by reminding yourself that you can make millions. You can make millions. I am brilliant. I am polished. I am deserving. I have big money energy. Freaking beautiful. Love that mantra. Here's a couple of different blueprints, and I love how he puts these into this book. Make sure to get the physical copy because you can always go back to how he's actually laid these out. Here's a blueprint to actually earn more, okay? Money is essential to staying alive, but we've all been trained not to talk about it because it's private. It creates ego, contempt, jealousy, anger. What someone makes is, we're told, what they're worth as humans. So it's not polite to talk about money. While money is the entree to a better lifestyle, earning more also provides freedom, security, access, and puts you in a much better position to practice generosity. There is nothing wrong with wanting more money. And the phrase about money being the root of all evil is definitely false. It's not like you instantly turn into a greedy monster the second your bank account has 7 figures in it. Obviously, there are a lot of problems that can actually be solved with money, but a higher income equals more options. And don't you want the freedom to live the way that you want to? I like that question. Avoid bullshit money energy. Seen plus heard plus remembered. Acknowledge people. There's something so simple as compliment on their shoes. It works every single time. Again, ask a question. The question should be something that allows you to learn something about the other person. It could be anything from if they live in the neighborhood or where they work or if they like dogs. Commit an interesting fact to memory. Be curious. Focus on what's different about the person you're talking to. And remember, it's so you can actually refer to that fact later. So remember, commit to an interesting fact to memory. That is a seen plus heard plus remembered strategy. Okay? When you step in a polished bullshit, get the deal done as quickly as possible and get out. The best course of action is to get yourself away from the bullshitter as quickly as possible so you can cash that check. Establish boundaries. Tell the bullshitter what is acceptable and let them know what actions you are taking. If they know how hard you're working on their behalf, they'll be more likely to stay within the boundaries you've established. Want to know where you fall on the BME/bullshit meter? Well, go to bigmoneyenergy.com/quiz. That's a good one. Dress like you dominate. Dress for the right audience. Who exactly do you need to influence or impress? What are the expectations? Wear a security blanket if it boosts your confidence. For instance, way back in the chapters, he mentioned that a fake Rolex for him might be a fake LV Louis Vuitton bag for you. So whatever works, wear that security blanket. Practice. Fit, clean, shined. Your clothes should fit you impeccably and be perfectly cared for, and your shoes should shine like the star that you are. Also, have a confidence costume. While you're creating your look, have at least one outfit that makes you feel like $1 million every time that you put it on. Also, kill highly contagious problems or die. Recognize the signs: reluctance, reaction, and retraction. If someone doesn't want to let go or is having insane reactions to normal requests and is threatening to kill a deal over nonsense, you have to take control or you will actually lose that deal. Here's another one. Utilize the 3 C's: calm, control, and conviction. Calm responses are powerful. Do not get upset. Take control of the situation by establishing your no-go zone, the one area where no way are you budging. Speak firmly. Do not waver. Wavering is like wearing a t-shirt that says, I don't mean anything I'm saying, so continue to walk all over me. That's a good one. Keep some cards close to your chest. Some details are best left unshared. Map it out, MAP. Is it material information that must be shared? Do you have an answer to the problem so you can solve it quickly? And what is the client's personality? This is about trust. Do they want to know everything, or do they count on you to make problems vanish without them being bothered? Map it out. Material, answer, and personality. I love this one, the 1,000-minute rule. Know your minute killers. Be self-aware about where your time gets wasted. Number 1, the perfection trap. Tag yourself out. Trust you know what you're doing. Ask for help for someone who excels in that area, and give yourself a reasonable time limit and honor it. That is what tag is. Trust, ask, and give. Also, number 2, in the 1,000-minute rule, the red zone. Those ugly situations when something has gone wrong and has the power to derail your day or even your week. To fix this, give yourself CPR. You can't control everything, so stay focused on what you can control. Perspective, change it. Expect problems as part of a successful career so you don't freak out every time something goes wrong. Rearrange it, re-engage, get back out there and do your job. Take an action, any action. Take and get back into the game. Take any action to get back into the game. That is so strong. And then number 3, task overload. Manage your emails, perform task triage, audit your time. What are you really doing all day? Determine where to spend your valuable minutes, what tasks you should outsource, and what to do with those glorious bonus minutes. Do not mirror your client's emotions. This is really, really good. Never be defensive. Always be on their side. You are a team. Be patient, but persistent. No one wants to hear their ideas aren't great. Persist in showing them the right path and provide examples of what could happen if their course of action is followed. Focus on the win. Show them the positives that will result with following your advice. And then assess your risk. What's the worst case scenario if you took that big risk? Be honest with yourself. What's the plan? Can you reasonably execute this? Is there another option? If there is, take it. Don't do anything crazy for the sake of being crazy. Be crazy on purpose. Anticipate obstacles in advance so you're prepared to handle them. Your goal is to have no surprises. That is so good. I mean, that pretty much summed up the entire chapter of I believe chapter, what is it? Yeah, from chapter 4 to chapter 8, this was summarized right here. This is the blueprint to earn more. And honestly, I freaking love this so much. It's so freaking good. Make sure to check out chapter 8, part 1 of this book. It's so good. We're going to get into chapter 9, evolve or die. And again, it's a really, really great chapter. It's short and sweet. So make sure to check it out in the next video. I am yours truly, Isabel Bedell, and make sure to get the physical book of this because it has a lot of good little notes in here that I'm not sharing with you because you should go get the physical book, by the way. It's an investment in yourself. Come on. And they're really, really good. So make sure to do so. Again, it's all about energy, energy, big money energy. So I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you soon.